Lab Days, Lab Days, Lab Days, caught up in the Lab Days.
For the first time in its history, ESPN's College GameDay has visited the same campus twice in the first 8 weeks of the season. We had to see what effect it was having on campus.
What I try to do is yell "Go Tigers" at everybody and see what kind of response I get.
It's pretty amazing. Everybody is happy and excited. People just walk by and scream, and then everybody screams back, "Woo! Woo!" like that.
It's a very intense environment. As you can see, like from behind us, the crowd, everyone's engaging in the tailgate. They're very excited and pumped.
As you can see, campus on game day is crazy. We had to see if students from the lab knew what it took to create the popular show.
College GameDay, the ESPN stuff? Oh, what goes into it? Oh, I'm not even sure, but it's obviously a tremendous amount of stuff.
I know they have to have cameras, and I know they have to. Honestly, I have no idea.
You know, having the proper logistics and lighting and whatnot for staging and those type of things.
What about computer-wise?
Computer-wise,
Down below on this green patch of earth, welcome to the joyful birth of a brand new college football season. Almost 9 months in the making, arriving, screaming and kicking on the campus of Clemson.
There's tons of work put into College GameDay. Since we missed them the first time around and our students had no idea what kind of technology was used in the production, we caught up with the engineers to see what high-tech gadgets they were using to produce the 3-hour show. The lab's own France Jackson caught up with some of ESPN's crew behind the scenes of Game Day to investigate.
Has a lot to prove against 2 Heisman Trophy candidates.
Hi everyone, I'm France with Lab Days, and today I am super stoked to be standing here talking to Miss Judy Wise. And if any of you out there are as big a sports fans as I am, you'd be super stoked too, because she just happens to be the operations manager for our favorite Saturday morning activity, ESPN's College GameDay. So before we get started, I just wanted to say welcome back to Tiger Town. How exciting is it to have ESPN here 2 times in 1 season?
David, speaking of their defense, when you look at that secondary, we know they're thin right now.
On Saturday night, after college football has closed out for the evening, our vice president, senior coordinating producer, senior directors of programming get together and decide where game day will go for the following week. What we're usually looking for is the game of the week, and so we have to wait until college football plays out on Saturday, and that means waiting until the West Coast shows are also done. Trucks roll into town on Wednesday. We build the set all day on Thursday, get everything faxed out technically on Thursdays, and then we're ready for SportsCenter hits usually by 8:30, 9:30 in the morning on Friday. So this is our backstage tech area. Obviously, it takes a bunch of trucks to get everything here so that we can build the stages. We're a total of 7 vehicles at this point. The guys will come out and build the screens on Thursdays, but we won't put the full system up until Saturday morning. A lot of times we go to locations where there might be some weather or wind, and all of those systems would have to come down. Command center for where our aerial camera is controlled. You can see the robotic controller right there, and it's called the FlyCam system. The jibs that we're going to show you on this tour are actually connected to our virtual graphics, as well as covering talent on the stage. They're the center shot, but they also provide height for those graphics that I'll show you in the truck.
What exactly do you do, and when did you first start?
There are 2 of us that are on this show that have been on the show since it started. So we've been on the show for over 20 years. Myself and Ken Wagner, the other tape operator, we play back everything that you see at home.
Could you talk to us a little bit about how things have really changed back here in this control room? How has technology really revolutionized what you're doing every day and made your job easier or more difficult?
The playback aspect of this show has evolved from actual videotape to the computerized disc of the EVS that we use. When I started on the show, we had 1-inch tape reels. So we would have 1-inch reels that would actually hang and have all the commercials on it. We have all of our major features. And at that point, the smaller beta tapes were starting to come into play. As the show has moved along, the 1-inch machines have been phased out. We don't use those anymore. And we were doing everything basically on videotape. We've now moved away from videotape to virtually what everybody else deals with is these computer drives. We have tape machines for the show that allow us to bring stuff in. So your interview that you're doing now, if we were going to play that back, we'd bring that in on a piece of tape or a different format. It makes our jobs a lot easier in that we can manage a higher volume of content quicker because it's all computerized. Everything is a clip on a computer drive. You just call it up and then you play it out. It makes the editing sometimes a little more difficult, but that's probably the biggest change is that we moved from videotape and everything being on tape into kind of a seamless, almost, format of being on computer drives.
Thank you for taking time out to talk to us.
Oh,
it really means
absolutely.
a lot. And I think people were really able to learn a lot and see the way things have really changed over the years. So thank you for sharing your experience with us.
You're quite welcome.
It's very nice meeting you.
You too. And you too, camera guy.
Oh, right now we're here with Amy, the IT specialist for College Game Day. So Amy, could you tell us a little bit about all the technology that goes into making this possible?
Basically what I do is I get an internet feed from the school or from AT&T or whoever, and I create a network back to Bristol where ESPN's headquarters are. So anybody who has a laptop or a computer or server is actually on a network that mimics the exact network that's over in Connecticut. So they can work on all their documents, all of their programs, and everything exactly as if they were in Bristol.
Yeah, I'm looking at this control system as there is a lot of coding going on as far as coding the different buttons so that you as a user can understand them from a user experience point of view. But from a more technical point of view, what's all this making happen right now?
Basically, the entire truck is a big network of servers and routers. So all of these panels are buttons that go to different routers that change the channels to different cameras and different programming that they have. All these are comms units, and they're basically walkie-talkies to everybody. They all have their own name, and they can talk to the director or tech manager or whoever they want. Each screen up here is every single camera that we have. So the director tells which camera should go to air. You can swap and see things before and after. One of my main priorities is a graphics network that when you watch TV and you see the graphics scroll at the bottom and logos and cool images pop up, that actually is all a bunch of servers that are rack mounted and operators that are using that, and they need to talk to Bristol to be able to get new screens and new information, new stats and stuff like that.
Well, I'm going to let you get back to your work. Thank you so much for taking time out to talk to me. I know it's going to be you, the brains of the operation, that's going to make this happen on Saturday. And because College Game Day is here, we're going to win this weekend. Go Tigers. So I have Alex here. She's going to tell us a little bit about the virtual reality stuff that actually goes into making this happen and a lot of the cool graphics that we see on screen on Saturday morning. So tell us about it.
So basically we have very long armed cameras out there. They're called jibs, and we have instruments that take the measurements of how those jibs are moving, and then we are able to calibrate our graphics to move with it, so then our graphics look like they're actually in 3D space out in the field or on the set, wherever you want to put them.
So what language do you use to create this? What is some of the software that goes into making this possible?
We use Python coding and several different programs to put it all together. It's pretty complicated. We've got a bunch of different stuff, a bunch of different hardware. We work with fiber so that we can get all the way to the jib and bring it back.
Do you use OpenGL at all?
No.
Just Python?
Yep. What makes it really difficult is that our hardware is specifically built for us.
Right.
So if it breaks, we can't just go buy it at, any store. We have to actually request it to be built again or get it from Bristol and headquarters.
Last question. How'd you get so good at it?
Work a lot. You have to work really hard. Yeah.
Practice with anything, especially when it comes to computer science and programming.
Yep.
Practice. The only way you're going to get good is doing, right?
Right.
Examples. Well, thank you for your time. We want to give a big thank you to Miss Judy and all the people from ESPN for taking us behind the scenes of College Game Day and showing us how everything works. And they didn't hold anything back. They were super busy, but they still showed us how technology has really revolutionized their jobs and all the things that go into making it happen and the great things that we get to see. So thank you so much for allowing me to crash the party. But for all of you out there, if you like what you saw, make sure you continue to watch our Lab Days episodes. Follow us on Twitter at labdays.com. Find our YouTube channel and subscribe to it. We're on Facebook, but most importantly, if you want to keep up with the latest and up-to-date news with what all the cool kids in the labs are doing, follow us and find our website at www.labdays.com.
We're used to early mornings and late nights, working on research, lab projects and long flights, changing the world, whatever